Oh, sorry.
Hey, Jim, I'm a big fan of your Death Blow, and I noticed in the panel yesterday for the DC-52 that there was plans to incorporate Warblade, which I think was an Image property, into the release of the next 6 releases of the new 52s. So I was wondering, are there any plans to incorporate some of your creations in the new 52? Like Death Blow could probably be in one of the war comics, like they're going to have the Haunted Tank series in there. And boy, I'd love to see some of your Death Blow type of things in that war comic, if possible.
Sure. I think we have plans for most of the characters, but a lot of times we have more characters that we need to put into the new 52 than we might have talent that might be best for launching those characters. So try to be pretty judicious about when we roll them out. You don't want to flood or you don't want to put out too many new books at any given time because you're going to lose your audience. It's better to kind of come out with a very focused, smaller edition of the 52 and to have the right creative teams on those books. And a lot of times you don't have, the talent's not available for, to work on it right now, and so you have to kind of be patient and wait. But yeah, Death Blow is one of the characters, one of my favorite characters in the DC universe, and we have plans for him.
Great, great. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Jim. Obviously, I'm over here, sorry. Obviously, we're tag teaming the size of the room. Obviously a fan. Just a question. In Justice League #3, the current run, when you reintroduce Wonder Woman, has anyone seen a Harpy and she's walking down Washington, D.C.? She starts out in heels, and then they disappear by page 3. So I was wondering, what was the design choice, and how do you feel about superheroines in heels? I was personally a fan.
You're a fan of the heels?
Yes.
Well, I want to kind of give a little bit to everyone. So the people that are at shoe fetish, the people that are practical, fighting gear, page 5, right? But that's the only visual continuity mistake you find in the first 6 issues. I applaud you because there's many, many more. I draw the pages out of order, and yeah, I don't know. You know what? It really, that happened. You know what? No, I'm shocked because I spend a lot of time on the heels. I want to say that maybe when you first see her, well, you don't see her boots, but there's a side shot where she's walking across.
Walking down the street.
Right, and a lot of times I kind of cheat. There's no heel per se. There's no stem or whatever they're called. I don't know. What do they call them?
Heel.
No. Okay, anyway, so they're almost like more platform type shoes, and again, it's just to elevate the heel so when you walk they look a little taller. And then later, probably when they're kicking, it's hard to draw that thing. It's easier to draw a flat foot. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that other than I probably drew those pages out of order like I do every book, and so half the time I spend is trying to match things up continuity-wise.
So sometimes we might see heel and sometimes no?
No, now that I know you're paying attention, what would you prefer, heels or no heels?
Oh, I love the heel.
Okay, I'll go for you. Heel for you.
Thank you.
Don't forget. Oh, sorry.
I have 2 really quick things. One, in the Justice League stories, will members of the team be continually making fun of Aquaman? Green Lantern kind of calls him Aquafresh a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's Jeff Johns' purview. I mean, he writes very entertaining scripts, and when he took on Aquaman, he really wanted to address the fact that he was kind of the heel of the butt of so many jokes. And then he contrasts that, he juxtaposes that against Aquaman doing some really kick-ass stuff. And that's his way of sort of diffusing the situation. So, there's going to be continual ribbing back and forth. And I think that, the point of the new Justice League is that they're just like us. They're not gods. And that's a recurring theme. And that's why you see kind of a bickering between some of the characters and some of the sort of interactions between the others. And I think that it humanizes the characters, and it also gives you kind of a glimpse behind the scenes, kind of behind the music, behind the scenes kind of videos where you know, 'cause everyone thinks of these characters as being all very cordial and on good terms with one another, but if you had in real life, you know, such powerful characters all working together, you have a king of the seven seas and a prince of the Amazons and the last sole survivor of an alien planet, and some guy with a utility belt that has a bunch of junk in it, you know. Of course you're gonna have conflict, and you have people with chips on their shoulders and being very defensive.
Okay, and would you be willing to sign my copy?
Sure, absolutely.
Hey Jim,
Yes.
I'm going to take you way back for this one. A long time back, there was a Punisher and Nick Fury graphic novel that you were working on, and I was wondering, why was that never released? And since it'll probably never see the light of day, can you tell us a little bit about what it would have been about if it was released?
Yeah, I drew, it was supposed to be an original graphic novel, hardcover, Nick Fury, Punisher, and I drew about 22 pages, I think I finished, and then I left to go Image, and then a lot of the pages disappeared from the Marvel offices. So I would say about 2/3 of that story is stolen. So it will never get printed for that. I think I have some small photocopies, and I should actually dig them up somewhere. But yeah, I mean, it happens. I really should have grabbed those pages before I left for Image, but I wasn't really planning very well.
And what would that story have been about?
What was it about?
Yeah, since we never saw it.
It was an adaptation of a Joseph Conrad book called Heart of Darkness. It was. Yeah, like everyone's like. It was supposed to be much more kick-ass. I mean, obviously, Apocalypse Now is the same thing, and that was probably one of the very influential movies when I was growing up. My mom sent me in when I was like 14, and she had no idea what it was. Luckily, she just kind of. The guy that took the ticket said, "He can't come in here." And she said, "Yes, you can." And you know, she doesn't speak English very well. She just kind of pushed me forward and said, "Yes," and then walked out. And so the guy had no choice. He let me in. I think 13 or 14 when it came out, and it was the most disturbing movie I ever saw. And it scarred me for life. And but I love the book, and I love that movie. And I thought, how about a story with Nick Fury and the Punisher go down the Heart of Darkness, and they're looking for a rogue agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is, you know, it's Apocalypse Now. And in the process, funny things start happening to their relationship. So it's kind of a buddy story, and with this very rogue agent named Maddox, who's at the center of this, The Heart of Darkness. It's a good book, I recommend it.
Hi Jim, I'm a big fan. I've been reading since Punisher War Journal, so I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on making it to the very top of the comics book world. I know you've been influenced by other artists, like for example, John Byrne. And my question really, I want to know if there's new artists for the next generation that you see you might have been an influential part of. Like, I could think, actually, off the top of my head, some DC artists like maybe Tony Daniel or Shane Davis, you know. But you know, you're obviously the great artist now. So, do you see any others like your style?
You know, they aren't necessarily new, but I think maybe underrated. Like Gary Frank, I think is just doing probably the best work of his career. He's been drawing comics for a while. But just the stuff he's been doing lately, he's doing the Shazam backup that's in Justice League 7 and 8, I believe, and the stuff that he did on Superman 2 with Jeff Johns, I thought it was just amazing. He has that, he puts the power into the figure work, but it also looks very naturalistic, and it's a very hard combination to pull together. I think Brian Hitch is another guy, not another new guy, but just really a terrific talent. Gosh, what other, yeah, there's a ton of guys that I'm checking out.
Thank you.